Hello, everyone. Francisco Opazo here, Head of Growth and Community at Eventify. Welcome to Behind the Experience podcast. Today, I'm joined by Kevern, founder of Electric Cat, a B2B marketing agency that specializes exclusively in the events industry and the driving force behind NOWIE, one of the most impactful communities for women in events. Before further ado, I want to bring Kat on stage. I can see you now. Yay! Hey, thank you for coming today. I'm really excited. In the chit chat before starting, I was already excited to learn more about your agency, your community. I'm a community guy, so yeah, I have a ton of questions for you. I wanted to finish this amazing intro that my team created for you. So you lead Electric Cat, the agency. Also, you're founder of NOWIE, that is Women in Events. Kat has also built her career at the intersection of marketing, community, and meaningful change in our industry. Kat, again, welcome. That's the proper full introduction. As icebreaker, I would say before we jump into the nitty gritty stuff, where are you connecting from today, and what have been keeping you energized, excited this week?
Oh my God. Well, I am dialing in I live in London. I'm in Southeast in a really, really wonderful spot in Woolwich. And what has kept me excited and energized? Well, we're doing this recording in December, which we thought was probably going to be a little bit of a quieter month on our side, but it's never the way, is it? It's actually been surprisingly busy. Quite a lot of our clients are winding down their activities, so actually we're making the most of the time to do some workshops for 2026, get aligned on the strategy for a couple of our newer clients. So there has been a lot that has been keeping me very busy, but very exciting as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. So how this I would say we were together also in the Eventech Live and all that recently, but how has been the experience? Like, many people might wonder, Kat has I remember in one of your posts on LinkedIn a few months back that in the last year only you that kind of managed to serve more than 60 clients, and that was really exciting, right? Like, number for an agency these days. So we want to tap first into this agency story, founder of the agency, and how to build a team and how to leverage employees and freelancers and connectors. So that's how I wanted to start today. Now, take us back at the beginning. What prompted you to start Electric Cat, and why did you decide to focus exclusively on the events industry rather than maybe just a general agency?
Yeah, so my background is events. I thought I was going to be an event professional through and through. I really saw that for myself from quite a younger age as well. I think I fell into the industry at 18, went to study events management and marketing at around about 19, 20. I went a little bit later. And so I've always been in the events industry up until COVID. So that's when I really started turning to do more marketing. And the story of Electric Cat and NOWIE are very interlinked, as we will, I'm sure, discover throughout the recording. But for me, the idea behind Electric Cat was that I really genuinely did see a huge gap in the market. And I think especially during COVID, it was such an interesting time for suppliers and for event organizations they weren't getting found in the same ways that they used to. And I think there was this real push for going a lot more digital, because still a lot of clients they probably had a website and socials, but that wasn't the main driver for their business. And I think we've heard time and time again from our clients, we get all of our work off word of mouth, which anyone who runs a business will probably tell you that is not a sustainable model. And also, in an ever evolving landscape, that it is becoming increasingly competitive. The event industry is in a little bit of a, how to say, it's challenging right now. The landscape is not as it was before COVID, and there are lots of different issues and challenges that are facing event suppliers predominantly. So for us, it was always the case of, I could understand that if we were going to have a generalist agency, I don't know people at Google, Apple, Meta, all these cool tech brands. How am I going to ever service them? Why would a multi-million pound business come and knock on the door of a new business? And I just could see that was always going to be a huge gap. So it kind of happened really naturally, where our first few clients were in our very immediate network already, because I was doing freelance work for them. So they kind of trusted me, they knew that I knew their business, and it really just snowballed from there. And I think very early on we did make that good decision, which was to remain quite niche. And although we work for event tech companies, we work for live event suppliers, so the kind of service we market or the products are very different, but our knowledge in the events industry is very unique. And I think that is what has enabled us to scale at the pace that we have.
Yeah, that's an exciting. And and at the beginning, what were would you say the biggest challenges when building an agency? Did you started probably like delivering services by yourself, and then once you got bigger projects, you started to include more members on your team? How was that process of moving up?
Yeah, well, again, all very linked with NOWIE. So funnily enough, I met Eloise, my now newly appointed co-founder, but she has been with us since before we launched the business, which is why that title felt really appropriate to give her very recently. Is that I met Eloise at a university event a month or two after registering the company. And at that point, it was very early doors. I was so busy because events had just kind of started to come back. This was back end of 22. And I was on site. I vividly remember going from working at an event in the Middle East to a ski festival like the following day. I remember I didn't even have time to go home. I remember my boyfriend at the time, I was like, can you just bring my suitcase full of clothes, meet me at the airport and drop me off to the next job? And he was like, not happy. But I was also working on a couple of branding projects and websites. And then I was just so close to burning out, which I was so pleased to get all this work. And I didn't want to turn the work away. And I just remember meeting Eloise at a uni event, and it was at the Manchester Metropolitan University. They asked me to come and do a talk on, I think it was women in events. And I was, really thrilled to have the opportunity to go and speak to the students. So I did, and we just met, and she said, I know how to use Squarespace. I said, you're hired. So the rest is history. I kind of joke, but at the beginning, it was very much, I said, look, do you want to come and do half a day a week? I definitely can fill half a day a week of your time. And because she was in her second year of university, it was actually perfect timing. I got her for that whole time she was at uni. So it was about a year and a bit of her undergraduate. And then she stayed with Electric Cat throughout her master's that she went and did in Barcelona. So Eloise she was our very first team member. So it was her and I for a little while. Mads came shortly after. But it was just the 2-3 of us for at least 6 to 9 months. But it was a very fractional team. So it was very much me kind of doing the work that enabled us to put a bit of cash in the bank to kind of bootstrap the marketing agency side. And then something people say to me all the time is finding people is the hardest, or people is the hardest part of any business. But that's where NOWIE comes in. And I've always met such amazing people through NOWIE. And so I'd like to caveat that it's not that we don't hire men, it's just that I have a very strong network of incredible women. So it just tends to be that is my network. So through NOWIE, I've met some amazing individuals. And I would say the key to how we've been able to scale quite as quickly is that we've really built a fractional team. So yes, on the website, we kind of call them the gang. I would never lie and say that the whole team are full-time. They're not. We use Emily is one of our consultants. She does a day a week. We've got a couple of team members that might do 2-3 days a week. So they're kind of part-time, but they're flexible. They have other clients as well. But for us, it's been a perfect way to sort of see how people work. And more often than not, we've then been able to increase their workload as the clients grow, because the worst possible thing that we could do would bring on board a new team member and a new freelancer and then throw them both in and hope it works. Whereas actually there are quite a lot of processes and there are quite a lot of things to learn about the way we operate, and it takes a bit of time. So we've really been able to scale thanks to a model that is not dissimilar to event agencies, where they scale up and down depending on the requirements of their clients.
Yeah. Well, also like the consequence of your work also generates more demand from your own customers. Like they need to sometimes expand, they need more services from you and all that. So it's like kind of a snowball effect, not to keep growing. I really like that. And so would you say that NOWIE, your community has been also a source of potential business for the Electric Cat as agency? Could you say that also, or more like a source of talent to deliver the work with your agency?
I would definitely say it's helped us with the pipeline of talents. 100%. We've known some great people through NOWIE that have been able to come and join us at Electric Cat. But I would say what it's really brought me above a direct link of landing new business is the profile raising. I would say that I almost say it's kind of a byproduct of what I genuinely, I could do a whole podcast talking about just how passionate I am about supporting women. I am women and also, you know, minority groups more broadly, is that if I could just spend my time helping others, I probably would, which obviously is not, can't always make a living out of that. So I think the passion I have and the energy and enthusiasm that comes with that passion has meant that it has led me to, and yes, I do say yes to things that I probably, you know, even that uni event that I went to go and meet Eloise, I remember I loved the opportunity and I said yes, and it was in the diary for a while. And then, you know, it's like that week comes around, you're like, why have I agreed to do all this? It's a crazy week already. And now I've got to go to Manchester, which takes me 4 hours. So, you know, 4 hours there, hour panel, 4 hours back. That is my whole day gone. So it is hard in the practicalities, but I find those kind of events so rewarding. And more often than not, I wouldn't say that there was maybe 1 or 2 clients I could say there's a very direct link with NOWIE, but it's more around, it has helped me grow my presence in the industry and therefore probably gain
Yeah.
trust a little bit more easily.
Yes.
And
I can
I'm
see you have the creator vibes. No, like in your Instagram and LinkedIn and stuff, and these videos running and all that. So I think that you have a, you know, like, have you leveraged the personal brand as a way to grow and bring attention to what you do?
yeah. And I would say the personal brand piece did not start a year or 2 or 3 ago. The personal brand piece is something that I think it was genuinely out of uni, I realized how important the personal branding piece would be. And I would say I've probably been working, and it might seem quite effortless and fun, but it genuinely has been a huge investment. And this, I think there have been a few things I've done a little bit subconsciously and sort of knowing that I needed to do certain things, but I never realized quite how important they would be. And it is that, I cannot express enough, planting a seed early on, and then it does come to fruition a lot later on. And I think we're in that perfect storm of, this year has been a great year for us, but it is very much thanks to the work that I and we have been putting in over the last 3, 5, 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. I can see like you care lots for the details, like photography, quality, showcasing your team, doing funny stuff. All that helps to generate the right vibe towards your brand. You know, so that is really a smart way. Before we move away from the personal brand, let's share a few tips, at least 3 ideas that you think might be really priority for whoever is in the events industry and is also looking to raise their personal brands. That there are many that are going to watch these episodes. This because they know you have these creator vibes, influencer style, you know, to share content and all that. So if you have at least 3 fire shots with 3 ideas that you feel that are key elements in building a personal brand, you're welcome.
I would say the first one would be yourself. I know this probably sounds so cliche, but trying to be someone you're not is never going to come across as authentic. I think authenticity is key. I think personal brand is probably one of the most important things that anyone can invest in, whether you're full-time. It's how you show up when you're not around. It's how people talk about you when you're not in the room. It's how you're perceived, in the same way that I think branding is so important for a business, because that is your shop front, that's your image of what you're selling. And if you're self-employed, it's even more important. If you're a business owner, it's even more important. So, and even if you're employed, you might be looking for a promotion, you might be looking to take more responsibility, you might be looking for another job in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, who knows. But when you are looking for that job, and people sometimes fall into the trap of, I almost know when people are about to quit their job from their LinkedIn posts. I'm like, oh, this person's showing up. They're turning up to networking events. They're posting more regularly on LinkedIn. And I would bet money that they're probably going to quit their job soon, because it's easier to do as you go along, rather than go, oh, whoops, I need a new job in January because this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would say doing it consistently, even if you don't really see the need right now, especially if you're working for someone else, you know, the company would appreciate that if you're able to speak positively about the company and be a brand ambassador for the business, then I don't think anyone's going to have any problems with that. It's not necessarily something that I would say spend your whole Sunday doing, but if you're
It's not
at
a threat,
work. And
of course. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So first thing would just be being really authentic, and things are definitely shifting. A couple of years ago, would I even have dared you just used a smiley face on LinkedIn? Probably not. Whereas now I just have lent in with being very authentic, and it's working really, really well. So being a bit personable. If you're into football, talk about your football. If you're from a specific town or place, be an ambassador for that place. You know, what is it that makes you different to other people? And as humans, we connect over common ground. And so tapping into some psychological elements is so key. I can't stop thinking about this, but we all, I don't know, if you've ever met someone else called Francisco, you'll probably be like, you're called Francisco, so am I. You're automatically, you know, I genuinely have a LinkedIn friend called Kat, and she is a rock star. Like she's got a huge agency out in the US. And every time we just have a joke, she's like, hey Kat, I'm like, hey Kat. And it's just funny. But it has created that real meaningful connection that we tag each other and stuff on LinkedIn. Like, I'll always comment on her post. So be yourself. Consistency is key. I know, again, massive cliche, but LinkedIn really, really, you'll get to learn what works. B, you'll reinforce that messaging with your audience. C, the algorithm will like you. It kind of ticks all the boxes. So kind of tying into my final point, the third would be do what works for you. What works for me might not work for you. If you hate recording videos of yourself, don't do it. You know, I hated it for a long time. I have tried to put myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, but if it's long form, if you're more of a copywriter and you enjoy, not even don't have to be a copywriter, but if you're more someone who are, exactly, if you like writing posts, write a post. Tamar Beck, I think, is a great example. She doesn't really use much imagery on her LinkedIn post, but she has quite a consistent style where she'll tell a story, she'll use a strong hook, and then she uses quite a lot of one-liners, which is quite easy to digest. So I can think of people that are great with video. I can think of people who use images to be a bit more storytelling. But that really is the key as well, is that you mentioned it just now, but having really good images. For us, it was an investment. We pay our freelancers, you know, our photographer is not unfortunately on our books, so any time that we invest with her, we do still have to pay a rate which is not dissimilar to what a client would be paying. So it is an investment, but the key, what we have found over the years of what makes a really good LinkedIn post, is a high quality photo with people smiling, a good hook, and something interesting posted at a good time, which does sort of play in. But yeah, that would be my sort of top 3 tips.
That's great. So authenticity, consistency, and then something really interesting with that high quality content and pictures. I think that is good tips. I have been like on the personal brand side, I would say, well, in my time in Latin America before moving to the UK, I was mostly a Facebook guy. So I have if you check for Francisco Opazo, you'll find my profile with, 14,000 followers, because I was like doing marketing in Spanish, teaching, and also running my agency in Latin America. And then only 2 years ago, when I actually started Led by Community, I started to push my personal brand on LinkedIn. From 500 nothing followers to now I have almost 13,000. So it's not like a super mega influencer number, but I can agree with you in this idea of consistency and try to talk with your audience about what they matter, like they care for, and that can help you move forward. Yeah, that's really amazing. And now we just now mention a few ideas for kind of our personal brand versus personal marketing. But you, in your agency, you have been doing this for brands, in the event industry. So I have a question related to this. You have been spending a few years marketing to event suppliers, agencies. So what have you learned about what actually works in this space? What makes B2B event marketing different?
Yeah, well, maybe we could start by saying some of the things that I don't really think are working, because we've had, interestingly, in the last couple of months, a few companies have come to us in saying their SEO is not working, their PPC is not working, the traffic on their website is diminishing. I don't think many of our clients at Electric Cat or in the industry right now are saying we get all of our business off inquiries off our website. It just is not the case. I unfortunately came into marketing before the days of just spending some money and then getting some clicks and then landing business. It's not quite that simple nowadays. we were just chatting with a client earlier on today, and it's so much more about touch points. And so tying in a lot to some of those same points as the personal brand is being authentic, in what you're selling as product or service, if you're a supplier or if you're an agency, speaking authentically, being human. That human touch in a world of AI is becoming increasingly important. So what is really working for our clients is turning up to networking events, being consistently across all the different shows. It's not just get one massive stand at one show once a year and that's it, you're going to rock up. You have to really be present across all the social platforms that have, really engaging and nurturing your current clients and your potential clients. So if you've got a stand, what are you doing as an activation there? Are you going to drive those meetings? Are you going to be doing a LinkedIn campaign, a game? How are you tying that in? So I think really well thought through strategic marketing will outweigh the wide net numbers, just chuck some money on a PPC ad campaign. I think client dinners are having a comeback. Like, that is something that is just so lovely to do as well. I mean, if only we could just do dinners all the time and just that would be business. Imagine that would be fun. But that could be really, really powerful. A couple of different clients that we've done some more intimate events. Again, it doesn't have to be a break the bank type situation of the finest wine and the best steak. I think a breakfast before a show, or if you have an office or a premises or a warehouse, get your clients down to your office. They will naturally be the ones that are then selling you to other clients, or they can speak as real ambassadors for your brand. So it's also about turning your current clients into more of an ambassador, but also looking at account management growth. I think that's something that we don't really talk about much. It's definitely very tech heavy. Maybe you guys at Eventify will speak about that account management growth, but it's trying to be strategic and really, really understanding your audience, who they are, and not being, I don't want to say delusional, but not thinking, oh, well, we're targeting this. And like, look at your client. Who are your top 100 spending clients? Who are they? What is it that they really value about you? And you might think you've got the best, the biggest, the whatever you think it is, but always be questioning that. Really engage with your clients, listen to what they're saying, and go where they are. If they are at certain events, make sure you've got someone in the room. If they hang out, I listen to loads of podcasts about marketing. Reddit apparently is having a massive comeback. Not even a comeback. It's having a moment, like in tech, especially. I listen to quite a few podcasts, and one specifically, a lot of their guests are CMOs from tech brands, and they talk about, if you're selling to very technical audiences, they're more likely to be hanging out on Reddit. They're not really your LinkedIn, Facebook in some. So it's also just not assuming that it's a one size fits all. What we do at Electric Cat is all so bespoke for our clients that it's not a cookie cutter. Right, you come on board, we do a workshop, we give you a strategy, we copy paste, we remove the words that aren't relevant, and we're like, here you go. Like, it's very, we really, really try and understand the client, the businesses, the pain points of their clients, what they love about this product or service, where they hang out. Can we think outside the box? Can we do thought leadership? Is there a resource that's missing in the industry that would be really valuable? How do you engage with your audiences? So we're doing a lot. There's a lot of things to take into consideration.
But I think that you just drop like 4 or 5 ideas that can be implemented. I think that this generate advocacy, this idea of ambassadors, like turn our own customers as ambassadors, is a great idea, and also cost effective, because you just keep delivering exceptional customer service. You look after their business already, and you are getting paid for it, and that can turn into the next level of relationship. It is when they become promoters. So I love this idea.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is very conflicting for us at Electric Cat, because you highlighted something really important, is that the whoever it is that is trying to sell and engage with more people, they need to be doing a great job. If they don't have the best customer service, if they are running late, if they do forget half the kit, if they're not providing an excellent product or service at each event, you're only as good as your last event. And so for us as a marketing agency, we really only want to be working with clients who have a great product, because if they've got a great product,